It's your boy Prince of Pain with Putting On People Radio, Pop Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify Premium, with another beautiful day here with Melanie Hogan. And as I see, T. Swain is popping in at the moment. So let me go and let him in real quick. And we kick off this show the right way right here with the Chilove Radio Show. What's up, T. Swain? Could you hear us? His microphone ain't on yet. Okay. For those just tuning in with us here at Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, Spotify Premium, welcome to the Chilove Radio Show with Melanie Hogan. She today has a guest by the name of T. Swain, but his microphone is not on yet. Let me see. Mic check, T. Swain.
Oh, hang on.
Okay, his mic on now. What's up, T. Swain? Welcome to Chilove Radio Show on Pop Radio.
Hey.
Yo. What's up, G?
Okay, all right. We just getting ready. Yeah, we can hear you. We can see you loud and clear.
Oh, this Pop. I ain't know you was on the interview too, man.
This Pop Radio.
What's going on?
It's my radio station, baby, you know?
Oh, man, I'm late. What's the deal, though? How y'all feeling?
We glad to have you today. I do want to introduce everybody just tuning in to iHeartRadio and Spotify Premium, the host of the wonderful Chilove Radio Show. Take it away, Melanie.
Hello, love. Welcome to the Chilove Radio Show on Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. The Chilove Radio Show is hosted by none other than Melanie Hogan, founder of Chilove. Chilove Radio Show is sponsored by Chilove LLC. So thank you all for joining me today, and I'd like for you all to welcome a young guy, Mr. T. Swain, a creator within his own lane. Thank you for joining us today.
What's going on? What's the deal?
How you doing today?
I'm smooth. I can't complain.
Good.
Breathing.
Okay, so now that we are beginning, we are going to center ourselves and take our 3 deep breaths. We're going to inhale, hold for 3 counts, and exhale 3 times. This is so that we can center ourselves and bring ourselves into the present moment so that we can relax whatever we have going on so far this morning. 1. 2. 3. Now you all should feel some relaxation in your neck and in your shoulders, going down your spine. Because today's topics, we're going to need those 3 deep breaths. We might take another time go on. So yesterday we were talking about the 4th of July weekend and the violence that's going on here in Chicago, and how Superintendent David Brown was giving his deepest condolences and sympathy to the families of those who lost loved ones. We see that on the July 4th weekend, violence broke out within all areas of the city. It was not just contained to one particular area of the city. North, east, south, and west experienced some sort of violence, and we are continuing to lose our children. We're continuing to lose these innocent babies who had nothing to do with whatever the altercation was. So Superintendent David Brown said that he plans on revamping the house arrest system and everything, because we do know that during the corona outbreak, he released quite a few inmates back into the public. And unfortunately, they're contributing that to the rise in crime, because they let out these people who were already in for violent offenders. And unfortunately, the crime is steady increasing. Now, over the last 3 years, we were actually seeing a decline in crime here in Chicago. But 2020 has been a year of surprises, ups, downs, round, and it's still going on. But nevertheless, let's talk about why this violence is going on. That's what we need to understand more of what is going on in these streets that is causing such a surge in violence here.
Or
Now,
anger for one. It's just a lot of anger. I say bad parenting. I think it started at home first. It started right there, first and foremost, before he crossed the threshold or she crossed the threshold. Opportunity. I think that's most important. It's not enough opportunity for somebody in the streets to be like, I got something to live for, or I got something to go to for the next day. That for me, that's what it pretty much come down to. It's just opportunity. It's just a lot of anger, and that anger builds.
Let's slow it down and let's talk about anger. What are they angry about?
It's not even they angry at other people or the world. Angry what they like, what they got going on. What's going on at home, what they don't have.
Personally, too. Okay.
The anger comes from what you don't. Well, I mean, what you're not getting, whether it be from your parents or a material thing.
Okay, so we're seeing a lack, and that's causing anger, which is understandable. Anger, depression, anxiety, that type of stuff tends to walk hand in hand, especially when you're when you don't have, and you see people around you having. So you know what they say, join the Joneses, you want to have what the Joneses have. So, okay, that's understandable, and that's why we here at the Chilove Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium are strong on mental health and wellness and knowing how to heal yourself. Because sometimes things occur in your life that you're not going to get an apology for. Sometimes people do stuff to you, they're not going to apologize, and they're not going to fix it. And although you did not bring this upon yourself, it is a situation that impacted you and you have to deal with. So we have to learn to heal ourselves from everything that we have been enduring and going through. We have to learn how to recondition ourselves so that when these situations occur, we are not constantly handling them in the same manner. Because, my grandma used to say, trouble is easy to get into and hard to get out of. That's my grandma said. And she wasn't lying.
Yeah. You just said something I wanted to, I was going to come back on. But that's all. I guess I'll keep going. I mean, as far as like the violence in the city, like either slowing down or just stopping, that's not going to happen. For anybody expecting that, because it's too deep. Like the culture is too deep. It's too far to change now. So it's just something we gotta embrace and find out how to deal with. Cause it's not going anywhere. Cause it's new kids coming every day, and ain't nobody teaching them the way. That's the problem. There's nobody really showing.
You hit on something right there.
Guidance.
Ain't nobody teaching them the way.
Yeah.
So that if we start to teach them the way, anything is possible. We did not start out like this. So there were things that occurred to get us to this point. Now, is it going to take a lot of work? It sure is.
No, I mean,
have to start to hold themselves accountable for their actions and decide that they want to fight their demons, face their demons, and heal so that they can properly elevate. It's very possible. But like I said yesterday, if you feel like nobody cares about you, why would you cooperate or try to add to the goodness thereof? So we need to start to show that we care more about each other, are more considerate of each other. Something as simple as respect, especially here in Chicago. People don't respect each other.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But gangbanging and violence, have been since the beginning of Chicago with the mob.
It
blew up from the mob, so everything that we experiencing now and it happened already. It's just been repeating. At this point, it gets worse because it's no structure and it's no, like you said, there's no respect. So that's why things are pretty much getting out of hand. You seeing a lot of innocent people getting shot. It's just no structure, no order out here. I feel like gangs can exist and they do exist, but it also need to be some type of rule, some type of order, some type of structure in order to, keep peace in the streets. Because we have to accept that, gangs gonna be here whether we like it or not. We ain't stopping that. They just here. They just got to find ways to deal with the issues better. And it's really just opportunity, just providing opportunity, even for them. I seen a video where this guy stopped this construction company from building in their neighborhood because they wasn't hiring none of the guys on the block, which that made a lot of sense. I think if a lot more of that happened where, you kind of put these guys in position to succeed, then you'll get better results out here, a better product of, kids that's coming up. It all starts with everybody that's controlled.
Putting people in a position to succeed. But we must also look at what already exists, which is a lot of trauma, which is a lot of hurt, which is a lot of pain. Mm-hmm. And money does make things better, but it does not heal you. And you have to look at that man in the mirror, look at that woman in the mirror, and start to peel back the layers like an onion to deal with whatever issues have you behaving and dealing with people the way that you are. So if they are not reconditioned, that's just like, say with the housing or something. And they put down all these new housing and they got low income, Section 8, everything's really nice and really new and everything. But for somebody who was used to living in a project manner where it was holes in the walls and people kicking in doors, now they're bringing that same mentality to the new set of homes that these people have created. Because they're saying, okay, we understand you living in the ghetto, it looks like the ghetto, feels like the ghetto, we're going to give you a new environment so that you can blossom in. But if you still have that same mindset of tearing things down and destroying things, you're going to continue to destroy the new stuff that's coming. So we have to recondition ourselves, recondition our brain so that we are not still behaving in the same way. Because that's a shame. A lot of landlords don't want to rent to people who come from certain areas because, for tearing things apart. When people are trying to build up, we need to get on the same wavelength with that. Everybody has to heal.
Yeah, you get. Yeah, I mean, it definitely started right there with just healing first. You got to change the mind. The mind is the most powerful tool that we have, and everything starts with that. Everything we in is a thought. You feel everything we in. You think about now, the microphone, the place you in, start with thought. So you only in control of you and what's going on. What I do think it need to be more of in our neighborhoods is meditation, breathing, exercising, trades, a lot of skill, a lot of hands-on project. You got a lot of people learn different. You can't teach them the same way school teaching. It's certain things you got to do to grasp people's attention and get people drawn in to what you want them to do. You can't just come out back and say, we got to do this, we got to do that. They're going to look at you like crazy. It's just communication. It's ways you communicate with, people out here that's in the streets and people that's not. So it's just all how you present it. I mean, the truth is, like, it goes back to them seeing somebody that's actually doing it. Like, go back to Nipsey. A great example of somebody that was in a gang but decided to transition and see something better. I don't think, from my understanding, I'm not going to say it's not, but I haven't seen too many people like that, like a figure like that in order to, show shorties in the street that y'all can do different. And, you can take gang banging and leave it in the past, but you don't have to get rid of it because it's a part of you. So I just feel like it's got to come back down to that.
GD is supposed to be for growth and development. And I know back in the day, they used to have community events. They used to make sure that the kids was in school. If your child was caught missing food, the gang members made them go to school. They wouldn't let them get out there and serve no work or anything. I remember certain gang members having kids bringing them their report cards and giving them money for their good grades. And it's like, as you said earlier, we don't have any structure with this gang stuff because they don't know no lit. They don't know no history. A lot of these kids are waking up and forming a segment of whatever gang they want to be a part within their own little clique, and they are forming their own group. And everybody is now talking about how they're such a savage. And it's like, okay, you a savage and you showing that you're willing to get out in the street and publicly act a fool in broad daylight, but you're not even hitting your time. And that's part of my personal problem. These innocent people, especially these children, had nothing to do with whatever altercation you had going on with whoever else. And then
let me add on to the discussion that you because right now Swain said, you had him answer his question about pain, right? About okay, so I mean our whole country right now is in pain. You know what I mean? The whole United, we ain't talking about just Chicago. We talking about the whole United States, because we in the United States. I can't speak on China. I can't speak on, other places, but we need better leadership. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we get two choices for democracy. You give us bozo number one, you give us bozo number two. You know what I'm saying? Right now we going through evolution, and I do want to talk about what Swain said. I try to be one of them examples and figures that can do 20 years, that was involved with the mob for 20 years and could teach a shorty now about his literature. And I got to approve this message, so I can't say it ain't no brothers out here in Chicago like Bo Deal, myself, cold-hearted Crucial Conflict, that came up in the trenches and up under the fin, up under the six, and right at the moment ain't up on street corners and throwing up forks and fins and crowns, and we still trying to show shorties the proper way through the proper platform, or whether it's hip hop or drill or what. So it is some older brothers out here that do try to guide some of these shorties, but you live in an era right now that the blind can't lead the blind when we got no structure away from the top. When right now the top is turning on his lights turning off his lights at the White House when we riding in off major states. You know what I'm saying? They locking up good protesters and main public figures for trying to. Nick Cannon got fired this morning.
Yeah.
Y'all know that for exercising his exercising his freedom of speech. But last night, the president said publicly, I don't know what black folks complaining about is more white Americans that get killed by the police than brothers and sisters get killed. So, I mean, I believe our whole country needs more choices as some of these leaders that we have. We need a whole better leadership just from the top itself. I think our whole country needs to go through some forgiveness and some empathy as we go through this evolution and get better leadership, more younger brothers and sisters that are more educated. We need more education in these communities. And just like the United Nations was built, even though, it might not be 100, but you got the Chinese, you got the Russians, you got the Colombians, you got the Mexicans, and they all honor humanity for the better of humanity. You know what I'm saying? So we all know that as we going through this evolution, it's Puerto Ricans, it's Mexicans, it's purples, it's greens, it's black, it's whites, all in one country that was just pretty much tore down and taken like Al Capone and some of the biggest gangsters and savages in the whole world, that it's a whole new breed now, and we all got to, like I said, forgive and go through some empathetic times where we got to understand, look, that's done, and let's do what's right for humanity and stop looking at each other as color. You know what I'm saying? That's my, I was real quiet for a long time, but I had to, intervene and speak my thoughts before you went too far on what you were saying. You know what I'm saying?
And
that was a good spiel, though.
It's not a right.
I had to hear both of y'all. I had to hear what y'all was talking about, and with Melanie, her discussion, and I felt she was going to switch gears on me. You know what I'm saying? And I did want to just come back and speak about what you said. You know what I'm saying? Which were all good thoughts, from the breathing and the meditating. But we need good leaders, man. We need better leaders. We need more education in these hoods. We got to put leaders that give a fuck about humanity and not just a political check. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
100 though.
Yeah. And okay, so we're talking about the anger and everything, and T, you said, it all starts at home. And I am an avid believer, and everything starts first at home. I tell my children, you can't get so wrapped up in what the world say, because today the world will tell you shit, tomorrow the world will tell you ain't shit. So that puts you in a depressive roller coaster. So what you start to get implanted in you from in the house, from your parents telling you that you are somebody, from your parents telling you that you are a young God, that you are a creator, that you're not that nigga that they tell you that you are, that you're not gonna go into the you don't have to. I just find it so. It was just so surprising to me when I see people make it to 16 or 18 or 21, and they like, thank God I didn't think I was gonna make it to this age. I never told my boys, that they wouldn't make it to that age. You know what I'm saying? I know what is going on out here, but we come from a higher power. And what you are being fed in the house does determine how you perceive the world. And yes, there are bad things that's going on out here, but yes, there are also good things. And we need to start to expose our children to more of the positivity that's going on in life. And now, yes, we can tell our children about the plights and turmoil that we have endured, or our ancestors have endured. But we also must let them know that before all of this even happened, you are a king and queen. That's your bloodline. You are a creator. Telling them the history of how America even, that there would be no America without us.
Nah, that's for sure though. Hey, like I say, my parents, my first teachers, far as how to act in the world. Just watching good examples of, I never had perfect parents, but watching good examples of people, that's responsible, show me how to take care of myself, take care of my sibling, which allowed me to take care of my seeds and my future seeds. So even down to my morals and, how I view life, it all came from being at home. And then outside of that, it just grew from experience. I just took what I had from home and, survive the best way I can. Because it's tough as here. It's scary sometimes when you hear that your child born in Chicago and he might only live, or she might only live to like 12. That's scary because it used to be 18. That's the scary part of having a kid growing up in the city, letting your kid come out in the world. But I don't know. It's tough. Like far as that change, that's something that's not gonna happen instant. Far as the shift, because everybody not gonna be on board. You got some people just gonna be strictly with gang banging, and that's just the way it is. It's like some people you can't change, and some people you can. You can't save everybody. I was just talking to my lady about this morning. You can't save everybody, but you can do your best to save those who want to be.
Who want to be saved? Yeah, and that's true. And we definitely, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some consistent work. And yes, even those who are gangbangers, see, I like to meet you where you are. Yeah, I feel like that's the best way to start with anybody. I'm going to meet you where you are in the wrong. And then we're going to find out why you moving like you moving, why you talking like you talking, what's going on with you. What is it that you would like to do? Where would you like to go from here? And if some who say that they cool sitting in that low vibrational zone, they cool sitting in that destructive zone, even then you can still put them in a certain place because we do have war. See, and I understand that there are warriors who are they win. So okay, how about you be a part of those who are able to protect the people who are not trying to be involved in this type of stuff. It's different ways that you can utilize this energy because it's not working for them on a personal note. It's not working for them on a personal note. It's not working for the environment on a personal note. But for those
that's real. That's real. I feel like, life, the universe in general will always get rid of anything destructive, anything that's messing up the floor of things.
Right.
So, yeah, I feel you on that.
And, we just have to, and as far as like with parenting, there are so many handbooks out here. Nobody is a perfect parent. Nobody has all the answers. You can have multiple children and you will have to deal with each child in their own particular way, develop a care plan for each individual child because what works for this child is not going to work for this child. So now you got to get to know this individual and see what's going to make this child move, tick, elevate, and so forth. And I know that a lot of parents have endured so much drama, so much trauma, just heartache, and they just living to survive. And a lot of them have not fulfilled their dreams, and a lot of them have given up. So sometimes they push that narrative onto their child, or the way that they know for sure to get money, they don't want their child to struggle, so now they teach their child again. And it's a part of the lifestyle that they live. And okay, that's your choice. But when your lifestyle is impacting the lives of others who did not sign up for this, it's a problem. It's a problem. I'm giving you a little bus and going ride around and pick up little Chirac-ness with the little guns and go to the off to the side place and practice on your aim.
But
because if you got it down and your man 100% that you're going to be out here shooting, the least you could do is hit your target and not one of these doggone children out here, not one of these elders who are just sitting in their home watching TV because your aim is off. See, that is a problem. Within every structure, there needs to be a restructure of how you do what you do.
Well, the only thing we can do is, pray, hope for the best, and and hope some type of change come. I feel like doing this the COVID-19, I do feel like it's a bit of change in the air. I ain't gonna sit up and say like nothing shifted. I even in the city, even when I come back to the city and visit from time to time or do the show, I do feel like the air is a bit different. I ain't gonna say it the same, and I ain't gonna be no fool neither.
How could you say you don't see a drastic change? Ain't nobody worked. Well, let me put it, 77% of the city ain't worked or went to school in 4 or 5 months. You can't even jump on a plane because they shutting down 15 states at a time. They talking about everything getting shut right back down from a level 4 to a level 1 within the next 30 days. If another 2 states hit a surge or another 2 states hit another 1,000 numbers. So we going right back. Hopefully we don't, but the way, history's repeating itself, we might be locked back to the level 1 quarantine here in about 2 weeks, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's more of like, not a physical thing. It's more of a mental thing is what I meant. COVID showed us a lot on that level, showed us the real value of your material things. At any moment, it won't even matter. And then if the world shut down. So that's what I meant, like, far as like the change, but like, yeah, definitely what you speaking on. Yeah, we definitely gonna go back under that.
If you go to pump gas at a gas station, bro, and a person come and ask you for some change, or just come and ask you a regular man, they better have a mask on. That's you jumping, and everybody at edge. You can't walk in the store without a mask. There's a lot of changes we all going through right now.
Yeah.
After the rioting, it's only certain stores that are still open. You know what I mean?
I feel like every winter we just might have to quarantine if they can't get the cure or the virus under control. I feel like every winter we just might have to quarantine.
Yeah, and we're going to talk more about the quarantine when we get to the quarantine topic. But right now we're talking about this violence and these babies that are being killed because, that is something, especially here in Chicago, that is an issue. And Superintendent Brown, now he was pleading for the citizens to start to cooperate with the police, to leave tips at cpdtip.com, right? And they are saying that people are not cooperating with the police, although these babies are not, although these innocent people are getting killed. Yesterday on Saturday night by the Red Line, 3 people got shot. I think one was 13, 16, I think 19 all females. They said that they refused to cooperate with the police even though they got shot. And the police is asking for the people to step forward and communicate so that they can try to bring some type of justice. Now, how can we find a median here to where what does the CPD need to change and what does the people need to change in order for us to come to some type of median so that we can put our focus on those who are here to destroy?
It started with CPD because it's their job to keep order in public, and they're not doing a great job of that. And I mean, right. You answered earlier like why the violence spiked. The violence spiked because we handle our own issues on our own. So we don't call the police because they can make the situation worse than what it is in some cases. So I feel like that's why the numbers spike because people just take things in their own hands. And it's just a disconnect with the police because it's just what we see from them and the interactions, the experiences. There's too many bad experiences over a good one for us to say, all right, we trust them. That's what it is. There's no trust between the public and the police department. So you're not going to get no cooperation off everybody. It don't work like that, in our neighborhood. Huh?
What can the police do to get us to rebuild their trust with us? What can the police do to rebuild our trust with us?
I mean, honestly, I can't really answer that. But what I can say what I would like to see is I say just if we have to be, trained on some things, they have to be retrained on some things. I think it started from there, the training program, what they teaching them in the academy. I think that could change and that might be a little better, but as far as coming from the police, I can't really say. Now from the people, I just say in order for us to have a smooth transition, be more comfortable in our neighborhoods, we do have to help out a little bit with law enforcement and things of that nature if you want to inflict change, because not saying anything is not going to help the situation. So it's like I want to say catch-22. It's like it's 50-50 with me at that point with the people helping the police and the people sitting back. Because sometimes I'm not mad for people not saying something to the police. In some cases, some situations, that's what I'm going to say. But for me, for the most part, I'm not mad at people just saying anything.
Okay. That is, because that's something that they are trying to come to terms with to see how they can start to have more people engaged and, help them out with the little tips and everything. But like I was saying yesterday, when they arrest you, they tell you that everything you say or do can and will be held against you. That's the first thing I think needs to change. The whole way that they got their policy set up. Because you're not
crazy.
Here to help you. You're not what about the justice? I didn't hear nothing about no justice. You telling me that you're here to punish me. So that's the first thing that needs to change if you want some type of cooperation. And especially with these young Chiracians out here and you're going to the parents and you pleading and you saying, well, I need you to turn your son in. Hell no. No. Like you said, we take care of our business. I'll take care of my son. Because if I hand him over to you, I might not see him again. Or by the time I see him, he might be mangled over something that you thought happened, or he nervous and he said something the wrong way, and you took that and just put the whole case on or something like that, or you snatching people. It's like even with the way that they arrest you snatching them and grabbing them up. But then if somebody trying to shake or whatever, you talking about, oh, you're resisting arresting. It's like, what type of mess is that? Look at the way that you are approaching these children. Be aware of the narrative that is out here about you all. I think that they should become more humane in their actions. You can still arrest somebody and still be respectful.
You got a lot of another problem is you got a lot of officers that's not even from nowhere near where we at, and then they get these ideas from TV and the news, right, and then they come with that same energy and do it all wrong because they believe something.
They're not even from the community. They're not even from the community. They bring officers that are not from the community to come police our community.
Yeah, they can't relate. And for those who are from the community who can relate to what is going on, unfortunately, we have some of them who used to be bullied in their community and who have a chip on their shoulder and something to prove now as a police officer. So you got some of them that's like the police officer off of Boys in the Hood. And they out here and they are the ones who are doing the dirty work. Because they have some type of something to prove now. They got a chip on their shoulder because they used to get beat up. They used to get bullied. And it's like, if you're not going to come, even the police need some type of healing and some type of reconditioning from. We need to find out their history. What went on in your history? How did you grow up? What impacted you and gave you trauma?
Yeah. Damn, what I was about to say. I'm going to say this. It's hard for us to say, we want better police officers when, your kid or you as a kid, most of us never wanted to be a police officer just based off what we seen. So we ain't gonna get too many people from our community because we already have, a bad view on police officers. So why would I want to grow up to be that if the world gonna be on my ass every time? So
I have heard police officers say that they, because of what they've seen in their community, they wanted to become part of the solution. So that's why they ended up, entering into it. But it's like you get into it, you say you want to be part of the solution, but then here we go. It's like some type of way you have joined the CPD gang, and now everybody are ops, and now you low-key, you're a part of the problem now. The policies, everything needs to change from the top because these police officers are not just waking up and saying, well, it's okay for me to kill whoever I want when I get away with it. Somebody is putting their narrative out there to them low-key to say, like they say, you use your own mind when it comes to how you want to deal with it. If you feel like this is a situation where a person died, like they say, suicide by cop. Because we have every right to kill you if you're moving wrong. And if you feel like you want to say something to stand up against us, I can say that I would that fit for my life, even though you don't even have a gun, and I got a gun, and I can shoot. So it's from even above CPD, who is giving the order that it is okay for them to behave like this, because this is not just one or two of them. This is like majority of the whole set. Even when that cop killed Kwame McDonald and he got in trouble, he put out a statement to his fellow officers telling them, you got to watch yourself. Like basically, they got our back like they told us they got our back. And I noticed that when he said that, they made me go, So now it's like the police getting in trouble, and then they got to take the downfall for something that somebody up top said it was okay to do. And that part needs to change. You doing the training, you telling them this is a beast, this is a savage, this is a monster, versus this is a man, this is a woman, this is a child. This is somebody who not this is a bad person versus this is a person who did something bad. That's a difference. And when you come to people like they are already guilty, how do you want them to respond? But we're going to come right back with the Chilove Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. Stay tuned. I'm loving this conversation. We're sharing minds. Hey, welcome back. We just took a short break. I was here with Pop and T. Swain. We're talking about the violence here in Chicago and what we can do to try to bridge the gap of mistrust between police and the residents, what we can do to try to save more lives, especially these innocent people and these children who have been losing their lives over the past few weeks here in Chicago. So as I was saying, Police Superintendent David Brown had some words to say about the violence that is going on here. And they had some ideas of their own. They said that the violence is attributing to the lack of services in neighborhoods and poverty-stricken areas. So yes, and that's logical, because when you don't have, you can be put in a position to have to take sometimes. We have morals and everything, but unfortunately, morals can't feed your children. And if your children are crying, or you're the man of the house, the head of the house, and the lights are going off, it's a possibility that you may be evicted. There's no food. There's a scarcity of food. Sometimes people will break the law to continue to care for their own family. They also said that another reason could be is that when people lose people close to them, an array of feelings surge, which is understandable. When you lose somebody close to you, especially if somebody took their life, and you don't feel that it was justified that their life was taken, you go through all type of emotions. Sometimes you be in denial for a moment. There's anger, there's rage, there's sadness, there's pain, there's heartache, there's drama, there's trauma. And it's like you have all of these emotions building up inside of your vessel all at once. And when you vibrate low, you behave in a low vibrational manner. So that makes sense as well. And they're saying for people who are caught in a cycle of violence makes sense for them. That is also true. If you are taught, especially here, I think maybe everywhere, but especially here, we are told if somebody hits you, hit them back. That's it. So, that's what we're conditioned to do. And even those who have learned other coping skills, you may try to communicate with that person and get an understanding. You may try to agree and disagree and leave it at that. You may try to just walk away. But sometimes the person on the other end, despite the other coping mechanisms that you are using, they are pushing towards violence. They don't want to talk. They don't want to get an understanding. They came for violence. So in that sense, it's only logical that you defend yourself. And sometimes it's with a gun. Unfortunately, sometimes during these times where people are defending themselves, innocent people are getting killed, innocent children are losing their lives. So the least you could do is hit your target if that's where you're going with. That's the least that you could do. How crazy is it for you to go sit up in somebody's jail for killing somebody that you didn't even intend to kill? That's damaging to the brain. That's damaging to the soul. Because at least if you doing the time, you completed your goal. You hit your target. You know that you're in there because for a justifiable reason in your mind. Whereas you're getting locked up because you shot somebody's child and was trying to shoot back. That's not even gaining you any stripes of respect in the street, actually. They said there are also long-standing rivalries between gangs, which is true. You immediately know, y'all don't even know that GDs and DDs used to be one at a certain point. It used to be one nation. So now because of who kicked off, started with the GDs and who started with the DDs, and now it's a whole history behind that to where it's on fight. And then we here in Chicago, you know, we're not looking at the fact that people are moving out of certain areas, and sometimes you be in a BD area, and your parent had to move, and now you're a BD in a GD area, and now they know who you are. So now, you know, you got beef coming up outside your house, coming outside your house. People are on offense versus defense.
But for those just tuning in from everywhere else, all over the place who tune in to iHeartRadio, what Melanie's talking about when she mean GD and BD is two different gangs, you know, y'all. Because we got listeners from everywhere, Melanie, so I want them to understand, you know, the lingo that ain't from Chicago. So what Melanie means, it's kind of rough when y'all grow up on one side of the block or one side of town, and, you know, you raise or you might be cousins with a person in one gang, but then you forced because of the economy or whatever, you know, mom and daddy going through, that now you got to move to the ops or the opposition's territory. And that's all. I just want to make them clear, Melanie, so they understand what you're talking about, baby.
Okay, thank you for that. So, well, that's so great that we got people outside of Chicago that's tuning in.
Yeah, we on iHeartRadio, baby. We got millions. This ain't just Chicago. We represent Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We got millions of listeners over here, you know?
But we definitely want y'all to understand where we coming from here. So, yeah, so, you know, and people are on the offense versus the defense. And I actually had and what that's saying is that because of the narrative that is not safe out here, you're not going to wait for anybody to do something to you. So you kick it off. If something don't look right, you kicking it off. And it was this older lady one day who said, baby, she said the way the things going out here in this world, she said you gotta get them before they get you. And unfortunately, that's a lot of people's mentality out here. And my rebuttal was, what if they never were coming to get you? They never had any intent on getting you, but you got them. And all she did was show up her shoulder. So that mentality in itself.
Chicago, everybody always on the defense, Melanie. In Chicago, everybody always on the defense, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they saying that people are no longer on the defense, that they are on the offense.
Well, that's what I meant, I guess, yeah. People always on the offense in Chicago, you know?
But it's like, what if these people that you are attacking never had any intent on attacking you? Now you didn't traumatize somebody who was just trying to go to the store, just trying to make you back home because you thought that they were going to do something. Now, where does that come from? Hey, welcome to Playing Back to the podcast. Here we're talking about what the city of Chicago is saying and their rationale for why this violence is going on here. So if they're saying, so if you're hurting somebody because you're on the offense, that's fear. You have to understand that. I don't care how tough you think you are. If nobody is giving you reason to make a move and you freak out because it looks like a move is going to be made, that's fear. And that's something that people need to start to deal with. Fear will put you in a lot of, fear makes the situation worse all the time. All the time you're attacking people who had of doing anything to you.
Okay. What's the conversation again?
She said
they were saying that people here in Chicago are on the offense versus the defense.
Is Chicago on the offense?
They're not waiting for a person. Yeah, they're on the offense.
By people getting raised, being used to attacking first, but before they attack. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's defense, more offense. And, you know, me being out of Chicago, I found myself doing that a lot. And people don't even be doing anything to me. It's just the way, it's just where I'm from, and it's just how I react. it's also a form of post-traumatic stress.
Stress or PTSD. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
like when I'm just walking down the street, nice neighborhood. I just found myself looking on my shoulder. Keep looking on my shoulder. Like that shit is crazy. But you know that, like being from the city, it always kept me on defense, and it's also a good and bad thing. And it's more of a good thing than a bad thing because I know the world is a fucked up place. So I'd rather be on defense than sitting around waiting for something to happen. So I'd rather be on point. But also, you got to understand that everybody ain't knowing what you on. So you can be cool. You don't have to react to everything. The best thing we got to do as people, as men in general, is react better to disrespect. That's the most important thing. I feel like growth come with when you ready to have a conversation rather than, all right, I'm finna go fight you. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm at with that. Like, far as my defensive things, I'm at a point where if it's necessary for me to fight, then I'm gonna fight. But if I can have a conversation, I'm gonna make that happen.
Right. And that's just what we was talking about. Like you say, find a new way to handle things and have that conversation to just even find out if that person is on something with you. Because and my God, so many people here, especially in Chicago, have PTSD and don't even realize it.
No, they don't.
It has become the norm in their lives. And yet it changes the function of your brain. And you will make decisions based on that trauma. That's why it is vital for us to start to deal with the situations that get us to this point to where we are feeling like we're feeling. You know, there should be some type of safety, especially in your own neighborhood. My goodness. You should at least feel some type of safety in your own neighborhood. People not even feeling safe in their own neighborhood with people that they walk past every day because they don't know who is going to pull what first. And that's this fear. And, you know, the media helps to push it even harder. So now people who had no need, no desire to even become a part of something like this, now they feel like it's a necessity for them to walk around with a gun, a knife, some mace, some brass nuts, something to help to protect themselves to make sure that they get home at night. And that right there in itself is ridiculous on so many levels.
It's crazy. It's crazy that the world is like that. But honestly, I'm with that. To be real, I ain't gonna be no fool out here and think everything gonna be smooth. And everybody gonna be like me. So I don't think it's no issue with protecting yourself.
That would not be wise. That would not be wise.
It all depends on the person. But I'd rather be with than without. Because it's about survival. If you want to be real. If we break down like just the biology behind humans, it all come down to animal instinct. So it's all survival at the end of the day for me. So I'd rather.
And I know it's like that for a lot of people actually. You know, it is about survival and getting home. And like I said, sometimes the police will come up on a young man who has that gun on him, not because he actually want to kill somebody, but because he know that somebody want to kill him. So now this boy got a felony. Mm-hmm. Now he got to go to jail. His people got to try to get up some lawyer money when he was only trying to protect himself. Why? Because he can call the police and say these outcomes and have them do something that's going to effectively keep him protected. But now his whole life is turned around now because he got a felony. He got to go to jail. His children's lives are impacted. You know, we definitely. It
all feed the system. It all feed the system. From how I see it, it's like if we placed in a hostile environment where we know we got to protect ourselves, 9 out of 10 we're gonna get arrested, do a jail time. So it's like a cycle of just feeding the system. When I looked at the projects one time, I look at it how like they got people ready for jail through the heavy doors, locked in small areas. Like And then so when things happen, they did crimes or whatever, they was already ready for jail. So it's like that it's like a feeding the system type thing.
Yeah.
You really gotta decode the matrix.
That was a good point. That's crazy as hell. That was a good point though. It's like you already ready for jail. That's crazy.
But look though,
I remember when the kids were smaller, and they, you know how you ask kids what you want to be when you grow up, what you want to do when you grow up.
Yeah.
And this little boy was in kindergarten, and he said that he was going to basically run his people corner. He was gonna be a drug dealer like his daddy and uncles and them. And they said, well, baby, what if you go to jail? He said, my family's in jail. Like, it was nothing to him. This little boy was in kindergarten already with that type of.
He want to be a motherfucking hustler. Yeah. Shorty want to be a motherfucking hustler.
Yeah, in kindergarten.
Yeah.
But you know what?
They like, already put it in his mind at 5 years old that was going to be a part of his future, and he was okay with that because he said, "My family already there."
I think nothing wrong with that spirit. I think they can lead him somewhere else with that spirit.
You know,
if somebody really want to do something for him, look, hustling, it shows you how to conduct business before you even have a business, legit. So I don't even knock it if you have a hustle, if somebody finding ways to make money on their own, because I feel like it's what we should be doing regardless. So I wouldn't knock the way of thinking. I knock the way they going with the subject.
Yeah. But
that is deep though.
You know, that he's still a baby, and it's like you just already just put that narrative in his mind, like you already told him where he's gonna go with it. And it's like I'm hoping he should be grown now because he was in school with my son, and I'm hoping that somebody got a hold to him and helped him to transmute that energy and use that energy in another area of his life. But this is going to be an ongoing conversation from time to time here on the Chilove Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. We had a great conversation here. I think that, we all shared our minds, which was needed. And I thank you, T. Swain, for coming on. I want you to tell everybody where they can find you.
I have find me IG at Swain Hova, SWAINHOVA. Same thing, Facebook, Swain Session Podcast, all that good stuff. SwainSessionPodcast.com, actually. But yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. Great conversation. I really enjoyed it. And hope we get back on soon.
Yes, indeed. You're welcome anytime. So for you all that do want to participate and cooperate with CPD, and you want to give a tip about what's going on out here, you can call 1-312-747-8380 or go to cpdtip.com. If you have anxiety and you need some anxiety counseling from everything that's going on, you can call 1-312-955-1212. Remember, we here at the Chilove Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium love you. We believe in you, and anything is possible.